Have you ever caught yourself wondering what it takes to stay truly healthy, not just alive, but thriving, well into your 90s? Maybe you looked at photos of older folks in other countries, smiling, standing tall, even riding bikes or attending gardens, and thought, how do they do it? It's not about luck or perfect genes. More often, it comes down to daily choices, gentle, mindful habits that shape the way we age. There's a small village in Japan, tucked among green hills and ocean breezes, where people regularly live to 90, 100, and beyond. And they don't just live long, they live well. Places like Okinawa have become famous for their high number of centenarians. And the most fascinating part is that their lives aren't built around gyms, supplements, or strict health fads. Instead, they embrace small, natural rhythms, ones that anyone, anywhere, at any age can begin to follow. And that's what we're going to talk about today. How you can take inspiration from Japan's oldest, healthiest residents and bring that wisdom into your own life. This isn't about turning your world upside down. It's about gently leaning into habits that support your body, your mind, and your spirit, so you can feel more energy, more clarity, and more joy in the years ahead. Let's begin with one of the most beautiful lessons from Japan, the idea of ikigai. It's a word with no exact translation in English, but it's often described as a reason to wake up in the morning. Your purpose. Now, before you think, well, I'm retired now, I don't really have a purpose anymore, let me gently stop you there. Ikigai isn't about your job title or big achievements. It's about what brings you joy and meaning. Something as simple as tending your roses, walking your dog, teaching your granddaughter how to bake, or even just enjoying a cup of tea while listening to the birds. In Okinawa, many elders rise each morning with something to look forward to. They might meet with friends, care for a garden, or work on a hobby they've been perfecting for decades. They don't rush. They don't stress. They live with intention, and they move through their days with a quiet sense of purpose. This gives their life structure, warmth, and meaning, and it can do the same for you. Think about what gives you that spark. What makes your mornings feel brighter? Is there something you've always loved doing but haven't done in a while? Maybe painting or playing music, or simply sitting in the sun and writing down memories for your children and grandchildren to cherish. Even reading a good book that makes you laugh or cry. These little things matter. They nourish your spirit. And that's just as important as taking care of your body. Speaking of the body, let's talk about food. Because if there's one thing the Japanese are famous for, it's how they eat. But here's the interesting part. It's not just what they eat, but how they eat it. Meals are often small, beautifully prepared, and full of color. Vegetables, tofu, seaweed, small portions of fish, and bowls of miso soup. But more importantly, they follow a gentle principle called hara hachibiyu, which means eat until you're 80% full. Now, think about that for a second. In many parts of the world, we eat until we're stuffed, until we can barely move from the table. But in Japan, especially among the elderly, they stop when they're satisfied but not full. This keeps the digestive system light, helps maintain a healthy weight, and avoids putting unnecessary strain on the body. You don't need a special diet plan to do this. Just slow down during meals. Chew a little longer. Pause between bites. Notice the flavors and textures. Ask yourself gently, am I satisfied? Rather than waiting to feel full. You'd be surprised at how quickly this one habit can change how you feel after meals. Less bloated, more energetic, and even more grateful for food on your plate. There's something powerful about being present with your food. In Japan, meals are often shared, even if it's just a simple bento box on a park bench with a friend. Eating slowly, with intention, and stopping before you're full, these are quiet but powerful ways to support long-term health. And while we're on the topic of daily life, there's another beautiful piece of Japanese culture that helps explain their long, vibrant lives. It's the way they stay connected to others, not just family, but neighbors, friends, and community groups. Even well into their 80s and 90s, many Japanese elders remain socially active. They join dance circles, sing in community choirs, volunteer at local events, or simply enjoy tea with someone they've known for decades. It's the sense of belonging, of being seen and needed, that keeps their hearts strong. Loneliness, on the other hand, is something that weighs heavily on the body and soul. When we feel disconnected, we begin to withdraw, to sit more, to think less of ourselves. But when we know we're part of something, no matter how small, it lifts us up. If you felt lonely lately, you're not alone. Truly. But there's always a way to reach out. Call someone you've lost touch with, visit a neighbor, join a small class at your local community center. Even sharing a smile with a stranger at the market can remind you that you're still part of the great dance of life. And that matters more than you may realize. Now that we've explored how finding purpose, eating with intention, and staying socially connected can support a long, vibrant life, let's move into another deeply rooted habit from Japan, one that keeps the body young, flexible, and strong. And that's the habit of gentle, consistent movement. In Japan, you won't often see older folks doing heavy workouts or lifting weights at the gym. What you'll see instead are people walking through the neighborhood with friends, sweeping their porches, tending their gardens, or even practicing traditional exercises like radio taiso, simple stretching routines done every morning, often in groups, to upbeat music. There's something so beautiful and sustainable about that kind of movement. It's not about pushing the body hard. It's about inviting it to stay active every day, even in small ways. When movement becomes a natural part of daily life, instead of a chore or a scheduled task, it feels easier, more joyful, and more importantly, something you can actually stick with long term. Think about how you move throughout your day. Do you find yourself sitting more often than not? Maybe watching TV or reading for hours at a time, only to realize your back is stiff and your legs feel heavy. It's okay. Many of us fall into that pattern. But here's a small shift that can make a world of difference. Try to get up and move your body every hour. Just a few minutes. Walk to the kitchen. Stretch your arms overhead. March in place while waiting for the kettle to boil. These tiny movements, when added up, keep the joints lubricated, the heart a little more active, and the brain more awake. In Okinawa, it's common to see elders working in their gardens well into their 80s and 90s. They squat easily, they move with grace, and they don't see this as exercise. It's just part of life. There's no shame, no pressure, and no competition. Just a gentle belief that the body was made to move. And the more we honor that, the better we feel. You don't need a fancy fitness routine. You just need to keep moving. Maybe it's taking the stairs instead of the elevator. Maybe it's dancing a little while cooking dinner. Maybe it's standing up during commercial breaks or doing simple leg lifts while brushing your teeth. All of that counts. The key is to make movement a friend, not something you dread, but something that supports you every single day. Now, while moving your body is essential, there's another practice in Japan that helps nourish the inner world, and that's the art of slowing down. We live in a fast-paced world, filled with noise, distractions, and constant stimulation. But the Japanese have long valued the idea of simplicity and stillness. Whether it's the quiet of a tea ceremony, the calm of a Zen garden, or the mindful way they arrange flowers or fold laundry, there's a deep appreciation for the present moment. You might be surprised to know that something as simple as drinking a cup of tea, really drinking it slowly without rushing, can lower stress levels, calm the nervous system, and improve your overall well-being. In Japan, people often pause in the afternoon for a quiet tea break. No phone, no TV, just the soft clink of a cup and the rhythm of breath. It's not just about the tea. It's about creating a little space in the day to be. You can do the same. Maybe it's taking 5 minutes each morning to sit quietly by a window, or writing down 3 things you're grateful for before bed. Maybe it's choosing to eat your meal at the table instead of in front of a screen. These moments of quiet help you reconnect to yourself. They remind you that life isn't just about getting through the day. It's about feeling each moment as it comes. And here's the thing. When we slow down, our bodies respond with gratitude. Our heart rate drops. Our breathing deepens. We digest food more easily. We sleep better. And all of these benefits build on each other, helping us age not just longer, but better. There's a wisdom in doing things with care. Folding laundry with attention. Sweeping the floor with calm. Washing your face gently. These small acts, done with love, become rituals that nourish the soul. In Japan, this philosophy is everywhere, from the way they wrap gifts to the way they bow in respect. It's not about being perfect. It's about being present. And that presence The quiet joy of simply being here is one of the most powerful longevity tools there is. Because stress, as we know, takes a toll on the body. It wears us down in ways we can't always see. But when we create space for rest, reflection, and peace, we give our bodies a chance to heal, to restore, to continue on. So maybe today you give yourself permission to breathe a little slower, to sip your tea a little longer, to find the beauty in the ordinary, and let that beauty carry you into the next moment. And as we take all of these lessons together, the purpose we wake up for, the way we nourish our bodies, the friendships we keep, the movements we make, and the peace we allow, we begin to see how longevity is not about doing one big thing. It's about doing small things, every day, with love. Let's keep going. There's one final lesson from Japan that brings all of these ideas together, and it may just be the most powerful one yet, and it lives in a single, beautiful word, ikigai. Maybe you've heard of it. In Japanese, it loosely translates to a reason for being, or more simply, a reason to get up in the morning. But it's more than just a concept. It's a way of living. In the regions of Japan where people often live well into their 90s and beyond, like the island of Okinawa, ikigai is part of everyday life. It doesn't have to be something grand like starting a business or changing the world. Sometimes, ikigai is as humble and meaningful as growing a tomato plant, caring for a grandchild, or sharing wisdom with a neighbor over a quiet afternoon chat. Think about that for a moment. What gives your day meaning? What makes you feel alive, even in small ways? It might be the joy of writing a letter, the rhythm of knitting a scarf, the comfort of preparing a special dish you've made for years. It could be the satisfaction of reading a good book, or the peace of watching the birds outside your window. The beauty of ikigai is that it doesn't have to be impressive to anyone else. It only has to matter to you. And when you have that, when you know in your heart there's something worth waking up for, even if it's small, it brings a kind of quiet strength that fuels longevity more than any diet or exercise plan ever could. Researchers have found that having a sense of purpose is closely linked to lower rates of heart disease, better sleep, less depression, and even improved memory. It's as if the body says, if you still have something to live for, I'll help you keep going. And it's never too late to rediscover that purpose. Some people find it in volunteering, others in creating, painting, gardening, storytelling. Some find it in caring for others, and some simply find it in the joy of learning something new. The point isn't what it is. The point is that it's yours. What I love most about the Japanese approach to longevity is that it's so gentle, so human. There's no obsession with anti-aging or chasing youth. Instead, there's acceptance, grace, and a quiet pride in growing older. Wrinkles are signs of a life well lived. White hair is seen as beautiful. Elders are respected, listened to, and valued, not ignored or pushed aside. That mindset alone changes how people age. When you feel seen, needed, and appreciated, you naturally want to take better care of yourself. You walk taller. You smile more. You take part in life instead of stepping away from it. That's the energy that keeps people vibrant into their 80s, 90s, and even past 100. Now, I know in some parts of the world, growing older can feel lonely. You might feel like your circle is getting smaller, or like the world is moving too fast. But I want to gently remind you, you still matter. You still have so much to give. Your life experience, your humor, your patience, your kindness, these things are needed more than ever. You are not invisible. You are deeply important, just as you are. And if there's something you've always wanted to do, something that lights you up inside, but you've put off for years, maybe now's the time. Take a small step. Explore it. No pressure, no deadline. Just let curiosity guide you. Who knows what kind of joy it might unlock? In Japan, aging is not feared. It's embraced as a season, just like spring or autumn. And each season brings its own kind of beauty. Yours might be the season of wisdom, of mentoring, of storytelling, of peaceful reflection. Let it be what it is. Let it unfold gently. Because the truth is, longevity isn't just about living longer. It's about living well. And living well means something different for everyone. For some, it's good food and laughter. For others, it's quiet mornings and meaningful connections. For many, it's simply waking up each day and feeling grateful to be here. So take these lessons from Japan and make them your own. Eat with care, move with joy, rest with intention, connect with others. And above all, find that little spark, that ikigai, that gives your life color and warmth. You don't need to change everything overnight. Just start small. One walk, one mindful meal, one smile shared. These are the steps that carry you forward, not just into your 90s, but into a life that feels rich, full, and deeply yours. If this message spoke to you, I'd love to hear about it. What gives your days meaning? What small joys make you feel alive? Share your thoughts in the comments below. I read them, and they truly matter to me. And if you found this video helpful, please give it a thumbs up, and don't forget to subscribe for more uplifting and practical content made just for you. Together, we can build a life of health, joy, and meaning, no matter our age. Here's to living your best life, one gentle step at a time. You've come so far, and there is still so much beauty ahead.